What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. How are you? Hope you're well. Glad you can join me. This comes the day after the North London derby, in which Arsenal beat Spurs 2-1. Them lot down the road, as I like to call them. Before we do anything, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I upload a video. You'll be notified. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, follow my podcast journey, Criminal Talks Football. Available everywhere, as usual. Rundown for the day, as usual. Lineups, good bad performances, little bit, lineup, good talk of the game, good bad performances, what it means going forward, and a bit of a closing. So, let's do it. First thing to note is, and the lineups are on the screen. First thing that was notable was the absence of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So we went with Leno, Cedric, Luiz, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Lacazette. Now we understand that Aubameyang was dropped for disciplinary reasons, for turn up late to the pre-match discussion or pre-match protocols, and somebody actually put out on Twitter, I think who lives in, I think it's Muswell Hill, that he saw Aubameyang's car passing at around about 12:40 when the players were probably just about meeting up, but him as the club captain, just a little bit of a touch on that. Him as club captain, he should be the one setting the examples. He's the club captain, he's a leader, and at the end of the day, it's just about the principles of the club. Now, obviously, everything's in context. We don't know exactly why. Maybe his child was ill, his wife was not feeling well, I don't know, whatever. It's now been all dealt with. Arteta said after the game's all been dealt with, no problem. We move on, we love Aubameyang, and good thing about you could see Aubameyang on the side that he looked angry, he looked upset, he looked annoyed. He didn't look like he was just, going through the motions, like smiling, laughing with his friends. He looked pissed. And so would I be when you're sat on the bench, knowing full well you would have started, but you're sat on the bench, having been dropped against them lot. So, what to say about the game, in fairness? Look, the whole game, after the 80th minute, Arsenal dominated that game from start to that moment. By the time, I'll get into the Spurs goal, but by the time the Spurs had scored their goal, we had 10 shots. They'd just about registered that one. Now, granted, all the shots weren't that fantastic. Smith Rowe hit the crossbar. Cedric hit the post. We had a couple of lazy shots by Lacazette. Partey hit one wide. Xhaka hit one wide. But we were creating chances time and time again. And I messaged my friend who's a Tottenham fan, and I said to him, your tactics is not going to work this time. And he said, yeah, it's the Mourinho way we're doing it. We're going to sit in, watch you lot dominate, and then we'll counter you, because that's how it is. It's a tactical masterclass. And I said, yeah, that's all well and good, but this is not the same Arsenal you played beforehand. This is an Arsenal that do score goals now, that can break through the lines with the number 10 in Smith Rowe and Odegaard in there. And I said, every time we get in behind you, every time we get in behind Doherty and Bale lets Tierney run off him and Bale lets Emile Smith Rowe run ahead of him, we're going to get in behind you and we will create chances. It's just whether or not we can take them. And guess what? We did. Firstly, I'll speak about the Tottenham goal, because I'm not going to lie to you, it was disgusting. 33rd minute, utterly beautiful Rabona. But something that Tim Stillman referred to, that Rabonas are only scored by people who can't use their wrong foot. And when you draw it back and read into it, it's true. It's not that impressive. It's an impressive goal, don't get me wrong. But if you spent more time learning your weaker foot, you just slot that in with your weaker foot. And that's actually more impressive because it's your weaker foot. So, listen, we're not going to praise them too much because no one gives a shit about Spurs. Then we go up the other end, 44th minute, 10 minutes later, and the exact same thing. We get in behind them again. Kieran Tierney picks up the ball from Smith Rowe. He cuts back inside, then shimmies straight out onto the left, straight past Doherty, who had him on toast all day long. Crosses the ball in. I don't know what Højbjerg was doing. He just completely goes, nah, it's not my ball. I don't want to touch it, and then leaves it for Odegaard just on the plate to slot it in the back of the net, and it goes in 1-1 at half time, and thoroughly deserved, by the way, thoroughly deserved, because from that moment on, we were fantastic. From that first half, I watched it again. The discipline in our performance that first half was incredible. Every time Tierney went forward, Cedric stayed back. Every time Cedric went forward, Tierney stayed back. Our defence weren't going missing. Our midfielders weren't going missing. Not Partey and Xhaka both at the same time running on, running from behind, running in so off the last man and leaving Spurs isolated. Just a little bit of a touch on, Kane in that first half touched the ball 8 times. Bale touched the ball 15 times. We restricted them to literally 0 touches, hardly anything. And it was fantastic to see. Second half, Bale came off after the 56th minute. Listen, this is what happens when you actually come up against a team that will not roll over and just allow you to score goals. Let's be fair. You score in the Europa League, fine. You score against Crystal Palace, fine. But when you actually come up against a team that are not going to allow you so much space and so much time on the ball, this is what happens. You draw a blank because you're not that good anymore. Simple as that. Hugo Lloris throws the ball straight to Pepe on the 63rd minute. Pepe finds a beautiful, oh my god, what a ball, to Lacazette. Lacazette, I'm not going to lie, he completely misses the ball, but is then taken out by the clumsy fuck, Davinson Sanchez. Now, everybody in that studio, in the Match of the Day studio and on TV was saying, it's not a penalty, it's not a penalty. But I can guarantee you, had that been David Luiz, or at the time Mustafi, they'd have said, what clumsy defending that is. What rash, stupid tackling that was by the Arsenal defender. But this is what Sanchez does. He's a fast airhead. He's a fast version of Mustafi Luiz, because he has no idea what he's doing half the time. VAR looked at it, checked it, and they deemed the reckless nature of the tackle by Sanchez. His foot's high, and penalty's given. Lacazette slots at home, 2-1 Arsenal. And then Lamela gets a booking for a tackle on Thomas Partey. Again, Jermaine Genius, let's all have a moment of silence for Jermaine Genius. But Jermaine Genius is crying because he doesn't even think the first one's a yellow card. He doesn't get the ball, by the way. Let me just correct Jermaine Genius. He doesn't win the ball. Partey has already released the ball, and Lamela blocks it. But with Lamela's follow-through, it completely wipes out Partey. So it's nailed on yellow card. 7 minutes later, he picks the ball up and he decides to use his fist to move Kieran Tierney out of the way in his face. And it's a second yellow card, red card, send him off, goodbye. Now, from that moment, you think, Arsenal, this is what we need to do. Take the game to Tottenham, because they're going to throw men forward. Play it safe, play it easy, and we counter them 4-5-1. Cool. But we didn't. We let them back in the game, and for the last 10-15 minutes, I would be honest with you, I was shitting my pants. Because Kane had a goal ruled out for offside. Kane then hits the post in the 90th minute, and the follow-up shot by Sanchez is blocked ridiculously well off the line by Gabriel. Beautiful header off the line. And we just really did not know what to do with the ball. David Luiz said afterwards, it's the emotional side of things. The young players, they get emotional. We're 1-0 up. We're winning the game. Come on, it's against Tottenham, blah, blah, blah. Arteta really, really was not happy with that last 10 minutes, which is fine. And let's be honest, neither were any of us. Any of us who are watching that game, we're not happy with that game either, that last 10 minutes. But we held out and we win the game 2-1. Arteta gets one over Mourinho. Mourinho's dinosaur tactics fails. And now that's Arteta's won against every top manager in the country, against Klopp, against Pep, against Solskjaer, and against Rodgers, and now against Mourinho as well. So he's beaten everybody in the top 5, top 6 per se. And it is triumph, good over evil, let's just put it that way. So we'll leave it at that moment. So we'll go into the good and bad performances. Firstly, Emile Smith-Rowe. What a player. What a young talent he is. He's 20 years old. And the numbers I've got here, 97% pass accuracy, 57 touches, 6 ball recoveries, 4 chances created, 3 crosses, 1 shot, 1 foul, 1 tackle, 1 interception, and the woodwork here. If you watch that again, when he shoots and the ball goes past Lloris, he runs off celebrating as if he's just scored. And then he realises it's post and he's like, fuck. But he was excellent. Fantastic until obviously he came off. But he was brilliant. From start to the moment he came off, absolutely fantastic. And then Kieran Tierney. 71 touches, 10 passes into the final third. So every time he got past Doherty, he made something happen. 9 duels won, 7 crosses, 6 tackles made, the most out of any player on the pitch. 6 passes into the box. 3 ball recoveries, 2 take-ons completed, 2 chances created, 1 assist, and 0 fouls conceded. So every tackle he made, he won. He didn't lose a tackle. He didn't make a foul. And this man is slowly becoming my man crush. Hashtag. But he's slowly becoming a man that I want to see made Arsenal captain sooner rather than later, because he epitomises everything that we want to be at this football club. Hard energy, hard work rate, and a fantastic footballer, by the way. Not just passion, but hard working, hard intensity, but a very good footballer as well. And a side note for Gabriel, with that block on the last minute, he was fantastic. And what Kane done to him in terms of elbow him out of the way should have been sent off for that, because that man's going to injure someone eventually. I can't stand that piece of shit. And the fact that he's English as well makes me even more angry, because it means I have to support him in the Euros. But I don't like him. I can't stand him. He does it every game, whether he backs into that player when the ball's up in the air, or like he did to Gabriel. Gabriel clears the ball and he just charges into him. I really do hope the FA look at it and ban him for foul play, reckless tackling, because it was absolutely ridiculous. It was disgusting. Moving on to the bad performances, I wouldn't say there was any bad performances, which is good. Round of applause, please. The only real bad note was the Aubameyang thing, because you know full well, we win the game, he sat on the touchline pissed, absolutely pissed off because he's not getting involved, and rightly so. What it means going forward, we go into the game against Olympiacos this Thursday high in confidence now. The fact that we are able to go in 3-1 at home and have a more relaxed state is good for us, because we need that. The fact that I said in the last one that this was a must-win game against Spurs, or a must-not-lose game against Spurs, was the fact that we need to keep the momentum going. If we're going to push up the league, we're now 4 points behind Spurs. We are, I think, 7 points off 6th or 5th. So European football via the Premier League is still doable. You know, yeah, we've got some tough games. We've got Liverpool coming up soon. You know, we've got Newcastle, we've got West Ham this weekend. But these are the games where we now need to start putting stamps on and winning them. And just to end it, you know, I thought the overall side of the game, we were fantastic. Like I said, from the first minute up until the 80th minute, where we took our foot off the gas and started to, I won't say panicking, but getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, we were excellent. Genuinely the best pressing of our game we've shown this season. And we didn't let Spurs have anything. Spurs will say, yeah, but that was our tactic. We wanted to do that. We wanted to sit off you. We wanted to allow you to have the ball and counter you. That's fine. But, like I said, you tried it against City away from home, guess what? It didn't work. You tried it against Arsenal away from home, guess what? It didn't work. And Mourinho's going to cry about it wasn't a penalty and it wasn't a red card, blah, 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 blah. I've got 2 words for you. Fuck off. It's as simple as that. But guys, listen, until next time, I'm going to shoot. I've got work. If you're new to the channel, like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I upload a video, you'll be notified. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch. Follow my podcast journey, Criminal Talks, available on all platforms. Until next time, guys, up yours. FOYS. If you know what that means, you know what that means. Until next time, guys.